This place again? Wait, what the f- Where am I? Today, I want to talk about.
Oh, that joke isn't even funny anymore. Do not even say it.
Okay. Hi, Sticks. Anyways, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is a video game I think is really good. Why, you're probably asking? Well, let me answer that question in this video. Let's just start the video off with the plot synopsis. I totally didn't steal from Wikipedia. I totally did, just saying! Anyways, Majora's Mask takes place a few months after The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and begins with Link searching for his departed fairy, Navi. While riding through a forest in Hyrule on his horse, Epona, Link is ambushed by a Skull Kid, wearing a mysterious mask, and his three friends, Tattle and Tail, who steal both Epona and the Ocarina of Time. Link follows them down to a dark cave and confronts a Skull Kid, who taunts him and casts a curse, transforming it into a Deku Scrub. Tattle prevents Link from pursuing the Skull Kid as he escapes with Tail, resulting in Tattle being separated from her brother. Having no other choice, Tattle asks Link to find Tail, who flew to the clock tower of the land of Termina. There, he meets the Happy Mouse salesman, who offers to help Link heal his curse in exchange for retrieving the mysterious mask from the Skull Kid, and tells Link he must also obtain the Ocarina of Time in 3 days. Link and Tattle enter Clock Town in the middle of Carnival time. Set in 3 days from a ferry, they learn that the Skull Kid is waiting at the top of the tower, which is only accessible during the eve of the carnival. As the two interact with the residents of the Clock Town, they learn of the havoc that Skull Kid had wrought prior to their arrival. At midnight on the 3rd day, the clock tower opens, which Link and Tattle ascend. At the top, they confront Skull Kid, and Tattle implores Skull Kid to return the mask. Skull Kid uses the mask's power to expedite the moon's collision with Termina, while Tail hurriedly speaks a riddle to them. Swamp, mountain, ocean, canyon, hurry! The four who are there! Bring them here! Link manages to retrieve the Ocarina of Time and plays the Song of Time, a song Princess Zelda taught him before he left Hyrule. Link and Tattle are brought back through the first day. Meeting with the Happy Mask salesman again, Link returns to his human form and seals his Deku curse into a mask, which in turn him back into a Deku Scrub at will. The salesman then explains the mask conceals an evil, apocalyptic power that was used by an ancient tribe in hexing rituals known as Majora. The troubles caused by the mask were so great, the Ancient One sealed the mask to prevent it from being misused. Link starts his quest by first going to Woodfall. On his way, Tattle explains that Skull Kid was lonely, and they became friends, and he stole the Majora's Mask in Sleeping Salesman. At Woodfall, Link becomes embroiled into a wrongful execution following the Deku Princess's kidnapping after the lake got poisoned. Link manages to save the princess and lift the cursed lake, and prevent the execution after slaying a giant, a being capable of stopping the moon's fall, and learns that Skull Kid laid a curse on all the 4 regions without explanations. On Snowhead, Link saved the Gorons from being frozen by a cursed winter with the power of the late legendary Darmani III. At the Great Bay, Link buries Mikau, Azura, who's the guitarist of the Indigogos, the music group of the carnival. Link fulfills Mikau's last wish, which is to save the Great Bay Ocean, and help Lulu, the singer, to recover her voice she lost after giving birth to 7 babies. God damn, what the fuck? Successfully, they go to Ikana Canyon, where Link saves a family, father, and army being cursed alive after being killed in an old war. With all 4 curses lifted, Link confronts Skull Kid again at the top of the clock tower and summons the 4 giants, who haunt the moon's ascent. Majora's Mask reveals he manipulated the Skull Kid and flies up to possess the moon instead. With Tattle at his side, Link follows Majora's Mask to the inside of the moon, deeper into the moon. Link encounters Majora in its bestial form, and defeats it once and for all. Returning the moon to its proper place in the sky, the 4 giants return to their sleep. And it's revealed that they were former friends of Skull Kid. They were sealed to prevent him from using Majora's power. The siblings fairies reunite with the newly liberated Skull Kid, while the Happy Mask salesman takes Majora's Mask, now purified of its evil power. Link then leaves Terra on Epona after saying goodbye to Tattle, now close friends. The Carnival of Time has started. In the post-credit scene, Link leaves the forest, and a drawing on the tree stump of Link, Tattle, Tail, the Skull Kid, and the 4 giants is shown. And copy-pasting, writing all that was hard work. Anyways, let's get into the bread and butter of the game. So back in the plot synopsis, I mentioned The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In that game, yeah. If you played Ocarina of Time, you'll know the whole deal. A buttons for actions such as opening doors and picking up cuckoos. B button for slashing your sword, Z button for easier combat, R button for shielding, C buttons for items. You'll need the C buttons a lot in this game, just saying. And the start button for equipping items and checking your status. You might be asking, but Zelda shit, what about the L button? Well, yeah, fuck Nintendo. Combat is really intuitive in this game, and with the different masks you can equip in this game, it makes combat more interesting than it was in Ocarina of Time. Speaking about masks, let's talk about COVID-19. Yeah, so there are 24 masks in this game. Most are optional, but there are ones you need to progress the game. These masks are the Deku Mask. This mask grants you the power to turn to a Deku Scrub, but this time you can do it whenever you want and turn back at any time. As I said before, Skull Kid turns into a Deku Scrub before you even reach Clock Town. The Goron Mask. This lets you turn into a Goron after you heal Darunia, warrior of the Goron's dying soul. Also, you can spin dash, so... The Zora Mask. This lets you turn into a Zora after Macau has been beat up and is dying. This also gives you the ability to swim underwater, and man is it cool! The Garo Mask. This is needed to be able to enter the Stone Tower area. There you can obtain this mask at Gorman Track for 10 rupees. You must race them and win to be able to get the mask. Trust me, it's the same shit as in Ocarina of Time. If you're used to that, then this shouldn't be all too difficult. The Giant's Mask. This mask is needed to fight Twinmold, the guardian of Stone Tower Temple. This drains your magic and really just looks cool. And the Bunny Hood. This mask is not required for completion, but have you ever struggled with exploration being a drag in Ocarina of Time? Well, on the 3rd day or when you get access to bombs, go to Romani Bench to the Cuckoo area north of the entrance. After that, you can play a song using the Bremen mask for like 4 minutes or so minutes and bam, Bunny Hood. Now you can go supersonic speed! Yeah! Speaking of bosses, that reminds me. I love the bosses in Majora's Mask. They offer a great sense of challenge and variety in a game that really loves to challenge the player. I love how the game wants you to know that it ain't fucking around, and the bosses are a prime example of this. The bosses in the game are Odola. This fight really just says, fuck it, do what you want, we don't care. And I mean that literally. This boss fight lets you attack the inmate any way you want. Whether that way be swords or bombs or arrows, Deku Link's hat, whatever's at your disposal, you can use. Goat. Unlike Odola, Goat is less versatile. In this boss battle, you'll be and ram into Goat. But that's the boss fight. I'm not joking, it's the entire fight. Org. This fight requires magic. A whole lot of fucking magic. Don't forget HP too, this guy doesn't fuck around. When you're in the water, Keurig will come for you. This motherfucker's out for blood. Like, he will try to knock you out the battlefield and fucking chomp on you. He will jump over the entire court and attempt to push out the battle area. Actually fucking damage this balls. You have to go in the water, hit Kyogo while swimming and holding R, then quickly get back on the surface before Kyogo can damage you. And trust me, it's a lot harder than it sounds. Twin mold. It's a fight that needs the Giant's Mask. All you really need to do is hit them with your sword while big. And maybe an underwhelming fight that does look cool as shit. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the thing represented on the box art, the mask the salesman needs, it's... Get fucked! Do you actually think I was gonna talk about the final boss before I talk about the dungeons and side quests? Ha! You guys are losers! Dungeons in this game are great. They have stellar level design with unique puzzles and creative usage of the mask on ocarina mechanics. The Woodfall Temple is the perfect dungeon to teach the player what's to come. Constant usage of the mask for puzzles, many risk versus reward moments, and generally good level design. The Snowhead Temple is much more gauntlet-like. It consists of many floors requiring you to use the Lens of Truth and Gore Mask to progress through the dungeon. The Great Bay Temple is extremely gauntlet-like. You will have to use the swimming ability of the Zora to get to the dungeon. The Stone Tower Temple is a whole different beast. This one puts your puzzle-solving skills you gain from this game to the test. Every corner is a test to see what you learned over the course of the game. Every area in the dungeon is a test. It wants you to experiment with the mechanics because it expects you to know all the mechanics and wants you to experiment. Now we can surely get to the final boss now, right? Wrong! We're talking about the side quests are an important part of Majora's Mask. The game only contains 4 dungeons, rendering the game very short in comparison to other Zelda games. So the developers decided to pad out the game by adding side stories. These side quests give you masks as a reward for completing them, but there's one side quest that stands out from the crowd, and that is the Anju Cafe side quest. The Anju Cafe side quest, officially named Anju's Anguish, is a side story about a girl who's waiting for her fiance to return to the Clocktown Festival. Her fiance's name is Cafe. Cafe got turned into a little boy by the Skull Kid while he and his friends were at the milk bar together. The search for each other really engulfs this entire game's theme of dread and fear of death. If this was a main story event, I wouldn't complain. But of course, it's a kid game. Despite all its dark themes, so it all must have a happy ending. Well, this one isn't necessarily a sad ending, but a bittersweet one for short. Anju and Cafe marry and don't care if they die. All they want is to just live married. They want to die together. That's why I believe many people, myself included, love this side quest. Also, by the way, you can play as Cafe in the side quest. I'm being dead ass right now. Now that's over, you might be wondering, what's next? You gonna talk about the textures? Like, for real, get to the fucking boss. Fine, I'll talk about it. The finale in Majora's Mask has you playing the oath to order, the 4 guardians, who are saved after completing each dungeon. Climb to Clocktown to stop the moon from falling. You then enter the moon to face Majora head-on. Majora's Mask. Go behind it, hit it with your arrows. I have no other way to describe it. Majora's Mask Incarnation. Hit it while it's running. He can also shoot lasers at you while attacking, so be careful. Carefully stab him up close. Majora's Incarnation. Now he's muscular? Jokes aside, use your light arrows to stun him, then use your sword to damage him while he's down. Once you've hit him enough, he'll start throwing spin and braid traps. Hit him more times than you've beaten Majora. The end of this game is bittersweet. Link goes back to Hyrule as his job here is complete. The Happy Mask salesman also leaves as he has his mask once more. Skull Kid lives peacefully, a tattle and tail, the carnival goes on as intended, and everyone lives happily ever after. The end. Wow. That was a doozy. Anyways, didn't I mention the music slaps in this game? Finally, I gotta return to Igor. What kind of bullshit is...